Amrapali, thank you so much for being with us here on ITV Gold.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to see a face who is working so hard in the community right now as we are dealing with the COVID-19 crisis. So thank you so much for your efforts and for being on the show with us and agreeing to discuss some really relevant information. You are representing House of Spices right now. I would just like to open up this platform saying that, you're doing some great work in the community for coronavirus. Let's start this interview talking a little bit about what's happening on the House of Spices front.
So for House of Spices, it's been very interesting as for any other business or anyone running a business of any size. So we take it day by day, hour by hour, because it's a constantly evolving situation. For us, we are here to serve the community.
Right.
We have a community of South Asian stores that we service, and as long as they are open, we are here to deliver to them and provide food for our consumers.
Definitely. And, in terms of just providing for the community, there's a huge fund that you have started, House of Spices has started, called Lakshmi Cares. Beautiful name. And I think the idea behind it is even more beautiful. But it is to match this great donation that was made by your team for South Asia to fight coronavirus. A little insight into what is happening on that and what sort of inspired to do this GoFundMe to sort of bring in the community as well.
So House of Spices has donated to South Asia, and what we're looking to do, we've donated already to different funds across South Asia at a national level. So, India, we're looking if Bangladesh comes up with one, we would also do there, Nepal through care.org. So we're looking to mobilize the community and the House of Spices community to match our donations so that we can make a larger impact.
Right. And bring me a little bit more insight into it. So currently, House of Spices has donated $250,000 to India for its relief efforts for COVID-19. There's a lot of marginalized community that really needs support there and the hospitals. And simultaneously, now there is a GoFundMe that is to, empower it even more, if I'm getting the point right.
Yeah, that's correct. So what happened is right before the COVID-19 pandemic started, we had a loss in our family. The founder of House of Spices passed away. And when this happened, we really realized that we saw how developed countries like the United States of America and Europe were struggling. And we thought, this company was built by the relationships that our father had. And, a country like India, while it has hospitals and it has doctors and nurses, it doesn't necessarily have the resources across the land to help every single member that might need help for any reason. So what we're trying to do is donating at a national level. The government or the governments managing those funds will do what they can, and they will put the money towards what they feel is the most necessary. But we're looking to match that donation and figure out where else we can donate, and mostly hospitals on the ground. So use mechanisms that we have to get closer to the people that need it.
Right, and in terms of these donations, Amrapali, when we're discussing about such a big, fundraising being sent to India to help with these, efforts, as well as another fundraiser being done, what exactly is being donated, and is PPE a part of that?
So what we're donating now is money, and that's the best way to help a country like India and countries across South Asia. But what we're doing here in the United States is we're working with someone running for Congress, Suraj Patel of District 12, and we're going to partner, Lakshmi Cares is going to partner with him to donate to hospitals around New York. So donate, like Elmhurst Hospital was the largest hit in the Queens community. So we will be donating products that we that we serve to the consumers, which is Parlay biscuits, Mazza juices, Foodie Tetra Packs. So we're going to do our best to do that as well on this side.
Yes, and definitely I want to discuss a lot more on the impact on the communities here in the US, but just wrapping up a little bit more on India. We are hearing about a rise in numbers of cases, and there's a lot of community that needs help. And there's a lot of support that's needed. So, I know your GoFundMe is for that, Lakshmi Cares is for that. Could you reflect on to the importance of that, since the situation is getting, worse as we speak?
What we want to do is figure out how to also help people that, don't necessarily understand what that national fund might do. So think sometimes sometimes just a dollar donated to a hospital can go further than a dollar donated to a fund at a national level. So that's why we're looking for people and to mobilize the Indian South Asian community to match our donation, or every dollar counts here, and we want to take that and put it back into where we all came from.
So how can they all support you?
So you can search for Lakshmi Cares on GoFundMe, and any dollar counts here, as little as 50 cents to as much as $10,000. But every dollar that anyone can donate and put towards this, we would appreciate it tremendously.
Your dad and founder, Mr. GL Soni, did some incredible works for the community. And House of Spices, for its 45 years, has truly served the South Asian community. You're one of the biggest distributors of South Asian food products in this country. Talk to me about how important it has been for you to serve the communities, South Asian Americans here and other minority communities during this time crisis. And I know your dad's impact is really big on you and your brother. So how important is this community service when you're looking at what he wanted as a vision?
So what we're doing today is tremendously important for where the company started. So our father started the business, just really thought, my mom said, I can't cook you dal bhat roti shak because I can't find the food. So he said, all right, I'm going to open up a store. That turned into the business we have today. And while we've served the community for over 45 years, in times of crisis, like right now, that is when it is most important. So House of Spices remains open. Our doors are open for delivery. So if you are a store owner or you are looking for food right now, we understand what that might feel like. If you don't know if your local store is open, you don't know the timings, and if you're a store owner, you don't know who's open to deliver merchandise. So for us right now, we want to focus on how to serve the community that has served us for so long, and let everyone know that we are open, that we have product, and that if you need help finding a local store, you can email us at customerservice@hosindia.com, and we would love to help you figure out or answer any questions in terms of stores or where to find food right now.
And Amrapali, as we're discussing, you have gone, kind of national with e-commerce, where it's not just wholesale distribution anymore. You can go into people's houses. Could you reflect upon those opportunities for consumers such as myself, who may want to actually have some dal and masalas that I'm running out of?
Yeah, we realize sometimes it's scary to go to a store at this time. So we've mobilized our e-commerce partners, and you can find Luxury Brand on Amazon.com. It's a safe way to buy food if you feel more comfortable than going to a grocery store. So you can find us on Amazon.com at a luxury store.
Definitely. And this brings me up to just discuss a little bit more on what's happening on the ground here. For you and your family, community mobilizing has been a huge, effort that you all have pushed for during these time of crisis. And there's a lot of work happening on the New York side or Jersey side, the hotspot areas, as we're talking about. As you've mentioned, with Suraj Patel also there's some work going on. Could you reflect on to all of the donations that are being made, perhaps how we can also help with it, and your partners that are working and helping you sort of really bring food to people that need it?
So what we're doing on the state side is we are providing actual food to hospitals. So we do realize that we cannot, we don't have the ability to provide ventilators, which is what, you hear on major news channels. There's a shortage of ventilators. We can't provide any medical equipment, but we can provide food. So what we're doing is we will be dropping off food to hospitals across the New York area. So we're focusing on, ones that on non-perishables. So on Parle G biscuits, on Maza drinks, and on fruity mango juice.
How has that experience been?
It's been, some are easy, some are not. So I think in the hospital system, you have to cut through some red tape and make sure and follow the processes they have in place. So we're doing our best, and we're partnering with Suraj Patel, who's helping us a lot. And we've actually will be donating to Elmhurst this week. So we're excited.
Oh, wow. That is absolutely amazing. I'm sure all of those people would really, truly appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll be donating $5,000 worth of food to Elmhurst.
Oh, wow. And do you plan to expand it to different cities and states as well, Amrapali?
Right now, we're focusing on New York and New Jersey. It is where we're headquartered. However, if you are if you work in a hospital, if you understand or know a way for us to donate, please contact us at customer service at hosindia.com, and we will respond and get back to you. And we have warehouses around the country that are serving the community, so we can definitely partner up.
Yes, while we're discussing more, this brings me up to House of Spices itself. And since I have you for a little bit more, I want to discuss, having such a large business, South Asian American business, with what's happening with the economy, with what's happening to even small businesses, to large businesses. Um, Talk to me a little bit about what the company's strategy has been so far. And I know you are open right now, and the trucks are still going. So, how is the safety being maintained? During this process, and what is your focus, because you have to serve, so you're essential right now.
So we have upped our safety measures across every distribution center. We've equipped our teams with masks, special gear, so that they feel safe operating under these circumstances. And at the same time, we're not letting any outsiders into our distribution centers. We've increased our safety precautions for our team members across the United States.
Right, and how big is this distribution that we're looking at that is still serving?
The House of Spices is spread across the United States. We've got 10 distribution centers. They are open. If one does close, we are equipping another DC to deliver into that market. But it's not as easy as it sounds. It's not just us. It's companies across our industry and across food. Everyone's having trouble.
Yes, definitely. And in terms of catering to the hotspot areas, are those something that you are currently distributing to, and also could be in the hotspot area utilize the e-commerce and get food deliveries?
I do recommend utilizing e-commerce if you are in a hot area where you don't feel safe going to the stores. For us, we are delivering right now. So most stores are closed. So in certain hot spot areas, as we call them, stores have closed for a limited time. So definitely call before you leave and go shopping.
Right.
But House of Spices is doing its best to deliver to stores that are open.
I think the effort you're doing is so beautiful, and it is so empowering to see South Asian Americans come out and truly support the causes that are happening right now. As a South Asian woman and as an entrepreneur, your perspectives on how it has felt for you personally during this crisis. I would love to get some sentiments on what does vice president of a large company and one of the biggest food producers for South Asian food feels during this time period?
I think everyone managing any business of any size is feeling the same exact thing. It's about, how do you keep your business going? How do you maintain keeping the team members you have on board? And how do you either switch gears and put your business online, or how do you make sure your business is going to be up and running when this pandemic slows down? It's been tough for everybody. And our executive team is on the phone every morning, just touching base to make sure we're all on the same page. And man, woman, at this point right now, it's all about focusing on ensuring the best for your company.
In terms of looking at your future projections and goals, Amrapali, and thinking in terms of what happens next when we are coming out of this outbreak, what are your hopes for your business, for House of Spices, and its, great capacity of really catering to the South Asian American community here? What's going to happen during that time period?
So, and then what this has done is it's helped us understand that you need to have every avenue of business open. So e-commerce is a big platform. So we've definitely put a lot of resources right now towards that. And we have a lot of product launches, and we hope that once this slows down, we're going to gear our sales team up, and we hope stores are open and ready for new product from Lakshmi brand, and we're really excited.
Yes, a little word out and a message out for all the partners and all of your employees and everyone that's truly working tirelessly every day to give House of Spices, the space to do everything?
So we want to thank our team members. That's first and foremost. We would not be here without my team. They are rock stars. They show up every day. I can't get these guys out of the DCs. So I want to thank them tremendously. House of Spices has provided, we've opened up 529Cs, which are college funds for our senior managers to say thank you so that we can start contributing to their kids' education. And because we know that that's a major cost here in America.
Right.
And another message is to stay home, stay safe if you don't have to be out there on the streets. And we want to just thank everyone for their support and for buying Lakshmi brand.
A couple last few questions for you. For anybody that's watching ITV Gold right now, what can they look forward to in Luxury brand, and a message out to all of the viewers that might be a little scared, but they still may need their spices, their ingredients, just a word out for them.
House of Spices, home of Luxury brand, is open. So if your local store is open, we will be servicing them. Do not worry about not having any food. There's a supply out there, and stores will do their best to keep inventory. And if they limit how much you purchase, it's for a reason, and don't get upset. We need to make sure that everybody stays safe and everybody can put food on the table.
Well, thank you so much for your time here, Amrapali. Any one last word for our viewers on ITV Gold? Thank you again for joining us, and I would love for you to promote the GoFundMe page again.
Yeah, so look for us at Lakshmi Cares on GoFundMe, and thank you for all your help.
Well, thank you for your help.
Thank you. Bye.